I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
You know, it's funny, I had another person ask me about this film long ago, and I completely forgot about this. And then Guillermo got very generous donation to my PayPal, really appreciate that, and thus requested quite a few reviews, including this one. Thank you so much for that. If anyone out there is ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you know, there are exceptions, but pretty much any type, you can request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. But this film it was for free on Tubi TV. Sally, this is a film that in a different director's hands, with a different cast, I think could have worked. Because it doesn't have the same type of ending as a found footage film. In fact, it kind of reminded me a little bit of this film called Exists. Only that dealt with Bigfoot, this dealt with aliens. But I like that it doesn't have the same typical ending. I like that it tried to have a little bit of emotional arc for the characters. Where at the very beginning of the film, stupidly, they're filming while driving, which is dumb, but they get in a car accident. The lady, it's a guy and his lady's pregnant, loses the baby. There's a little bit of arc of that by the end of the film. I appreciate that, because that's not usual for a found footage movie. Certain moments could work, like guys looking this way, you see an alien hand ready to grab them. The idea of having a chase, so to speak, with an alien in a cornfield, which reminds me of Signs with Mel Gibson. But goddamn, man, the execution of this was awful. Why? The actors, I don't know if they're French. I believe the lead actor is also the director. I don't know if he's French or something. See, here's the voices. Everyone's voices are so off. I don't know if they were French and they're trying to do an American accent, or they're just overacting, or they did the film and then they dubbed over themselves. But every voice has this off quality to it that nothing about it sounded natural. Nothing about it sounded concrete. It just all sounded weird and off, and that really took away from all the performances to the point it took me out of the film, and so thus I didn't give a shit about anybody. And lo and behold, this is one of the few found footage films that not everyone fucking dies. In fact, no one dies. Unless you want to count the lost pregnancy at the beginning. But technically no one dies. And the acting is just so fucking off. And then when they show the alien, they try to be too ambitious, because a lot of times you see the alien full form and it's CGI. And it's not that good CGI. Especially when it's bouncing around like a fucking kangaroo, where it jumps and it lands here. It tries to be ambitious. There's a point where the lead guy sees a spaceship, as if it's a spaceship from Close Encounters. You see the alien really a lot by the end. And the intentions are valiant, but the execution... In the beginning of the film, he has this fucking glass eye that he puts a camera in. Was that the first time I've seen that? That was in a 7 VHS 2. To be honest, the 7 I did not like in VHS 2 was that. By the way, let me ask you something. If you have a camera for your eye, how the fuck do you record the audio? I'm just wondering about that. If anyone who's a technological savant, very tech savvy, can you explain to me that if you have a camera in your glass eye, which I guess after the accident he lost his eye, the car accident, so he knows a lot about tech, so he makes a glass, in his glass eye he put a cell phone camera, which lights up red as if he's a Terminator. Okay. How the fuck does that record audio? Wouldn't you think because it's in the eyeball and... But it records audio perfectly. Whatever. Okay. Why do you even have the eye camera as part of the film, I guess? Just other people still have their fucking phones that you're getting footage from. So if it's, well, we don't want people to say, why don't they just drop the fucking phone? Or drop the fucking camera. You still have other people who have the fucking cameras and shit. Or you do this thing where when the aliens arrive, the phones will pop up and start recording. Which, if that's the case, why the fuck don't everyone have goddamn footage of aliens? If the fucking cameras automatically turn on of the phone or whatever the hell. Aliens should work on that. You're not going to be secretive for very fucking long. So, the biggest problem for me is the actors, the voices being so off. Whether it be acting or overdubbing or they're trying to do American accents. Maybe it's all three. I don't know. But they go... It's sometime later. They go off to a cabin in the woods. There's about 5 people. 2 couples and this other guy. And to me, Exist did this better. That was also a group of people going off to a cabin. I think it was also like 5 people, wasn't it? I think it was like 2 couples and the other guy who's our lead. It was 4 or 5 people. I forget which. 4 or 5 people. Maybe more. But that one, like, the Bigfoot you didn't see much of, and when you saw looked cool or creepy, and then when you did see it, it was practical, and the acting was better. The lead guy did a better job acting because it wasn't this off voice shit, and he didn't have this CGI blaring in your face, big old glare in your face. But anyway, they get to the cabin, they see something fall off in the sky, they go investigate, because of course, I guess they're Scooby-Dooby-Doos. And this is the dialogue. What, you have amnesia? But I want you to touch it. Where is the house? Fuck it. So they find the thing. They take a fucking rock. Which I'll get back to that rock. They investigate. They go into a cave. They find a cell phone. An alien hand grabs at them. They run out. The acting is bad. When the guy's breaking down, I'm tired of losing people I love. You got a different actor. If you got a different director who didn't put himself in the fucking movie as the lead, or you did a different director, like in Eduardo Sanchez. If Eduardo Sanchez, who did Exist, did the same movie, I think it would be a much better movie. because I think he would have hired better actors. Right, his track record isn't perfect, because I reviewed all of his films, but out of 6 films, 4 of them I liked. So, pretty good track record. Eduardo Sanchez, he should have done this fucking movie. Right, he'd be like, well, this Twilight exists, but aliens still Bigfoot, but okay. Why do I keep mentioning exists? Spoiler alert for both of those films. At the end of Exists, you find out that the Bigfoot they hit was the kid. And so this Bigfoot wants revenge. Kind of shows him what happened. The guy apologizes and Bigfoot leaves. This, imagine that, but if the kid was alive. Because The Rock is actually an egg, and the alien's been doing all this because he wants his baby back. So he gets his baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs. Gets the baby back, baby back. And the guy apologizes, and the alien looks at him, takes his baby who's alive, goes up, and then returns his other friends. Naked, because their clothes were taken. Which I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, when they would take people, the clothes will be there, but nothing else. So, aliens are fucking perverts. We'll take you, but leave the clothes. Oh, okay. But you have the alien either grabbing people like this, and they get discombobulated and start acting strange, or there's weird tech interference on TVs and these symbols that they keep seeing, or they try to have night vision, but all it is the same shit, but they just put a green filter on. It's not really night vision. It's, you see this camera? If I put green on it, automatically has night vision. Not really. Also, there are times they shoot day for night. Like, literally, I'm like, oh, it's daytime? And then they cut back to this night. Oh, they're shooting day for night. Like, you're a found footage film, and you literally have to resort to day for night shots. Or literally, okay, you see this? Fuck. Well, maybe not that bright, but about as bright as you see through that. Like, as bright as that, it looks. As bright as that, and certain background shots. And then some stuff happens and they're still at nighttime. This is all supposed to take place in one night. Okay. I like the bit that they're in this crop and they send a drone, and the drone, when it gets high enough, you realize they're in the middle of a crop circle. I don't mind that idea, that they realize they're in the middle of a crop circle with a certain symbol carved into the entire field. The few bits you see in the trailer is the few bits of the practical alien where they just use the hands, like a hand doing this to a girl or to a guy sitting down, or a guy, the lead guy's not paying attention, you see the hand doing this and then goes away. Or there's a point where the lead and his girl are in a cornfield and he gets dragged away a little bit. And then they get together and then the lady's taken to the sky. And that's where you realize the rock taken earlier is an egg and the baby's born. Interesting shot where I don't know how the fuck the camera got this though. Or somehow the camera, I don't know what fucking camera it was now that I think about it. It shows like up close to the alien and the eye of the alien and the reflection that shows that it's a baby being born. How the fuck did the camera get that? That's the luckiest fucking shot in human history. Like I said, and the characters get returned once. It doesn't have the typical ending. I appreciate that, but it's sad that it's wasted on a fucking movie that has bad. It's not scary. It scares or that attempts are typical that you've seen. Hell, some of those are fucking scares you would see from Signs. Speaking of crop circles. Like the bit when they had the flashlight and there's a hand there. So you see any attempts at scares you either saw in Signs, which is a better movie than this, or just non-existent or not scary or not creepy or attempts at jump scares. the acting and the characters suck. The whole eyeball camera thing, I'm like, okay, I guess just because. I still don't get all the details of that. Would it have a red light that says it's recording, and would it capture audio? Okay. The effects of the alien, a lot of it's CGI, and a lot of it's not good CGI. Just takes me out. Why didn't you go for less? Like, if you can only afford, like, do a practical alien suit. It'd be like, okay, we're going to do hands, legs, maybe a head here. Hell, I saw this other film, Extraterrestrial. Those effects look better in that. Granted, they had a shittier ending. Like, can we take this ending and put it on Extraterrestrial? Like, take this ending and put it on Extraterrestrial. That's not found footage, but that's the last alien abduction type of movie I saw. So, it's sad that that's probably why I forget who it was, wanted me to watch it, because hey, it's not that, it doesn't have a typical downbeat ending. I appreciate that. Sadly, everything else is what sucked. That figures. Of the 10% of found footage movies that have a different ending, it's a film that fucking sucks. See, that goes to show you, just because it has that ending doesn't mean I automatically will give it a pass. You have to be at least a decent movie too. But it doesn't have the steers. It does is typical. You've seen it done 1,000 times. The characters, the off voices. That idea, I kind of saw it exist. Only tweaked a little bit, so it wasn't as impressive to me as the others. It's like, well, it's the ending that exists, except in that the kid was dead. Here, the baby's alive. Of the said creature. So, go watch Exist. Go watch that instead. This is a better version of this movie, honestly. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.